They're being recorded.
Yeah. The camera's right there. Right next to it.
She's like, okay, wait.
All right, so here we go. Thank you everybody for coming. We'll get rolling. Let's see. Introductions. I think everybody around the table pretty much knows everybody. There's no camera. And then when Daddy comes, you can just take the chair. All right, so thank you. Thank you to Stacey Davis for posting this month's birthday board. I love this theme. To Jill Walfers for all of her efforts in organizing another incredible Sioux Celebration, especially when you consider Sioux Celebration did not happen last year, so she didn't get to see it when she was shadowing. So we had a snow day last year. So thank you to all the parents who signed up to volunteer and to those who made or purchased treats to share. And thank you to all the parents who have volunteered to reach out to local businesses for donations to the auction. We can't make this event happen without a team effort, and we're so thankful to have those parents on our team, especially the two chairpersons who are heading up that effort. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you to all the students that auditioned for Round's first student talent show. We can't wait to see their awesome talents featured on the big stage, and we'll hear more about that here in just a minute. To our Round staff members that performed in Reader's Theater at Cromaine last night. It was so much fun. And I'm happy that I ran into a couple of new parents. One actually at Little Caesars when I was picking up pizza before the show last night, and one I had talked to the day before. They weren't even sure what it was about, or anything, and they were so happy that they came. So because it was the first time their kids had seen it, so it was great. Upcoming important dates. I've got our Friday fun days in here from March's Reading Month. So this Friday, tomorrow, is Dress for Success Day. Next Friday is Crazy Hair Day. The school board meeting is Monday the 18th. On the 20th, we have the author visit for March's Reading Month, and then the next day is the auction and talent show. That Friday is Read in Your Pajamas Day, and then of course the whole next week is spring break. The next school board meeting in April is the 15th. We're off Friday the 19th for Good Friday. Then the following Thursday is the Science and Art Fair. We'll hear more about that later. May 6th through 10th is each Teacher Appreciation Week. The 22nd and 23rd is 4th grade Mackinac trip, and then we're off for Memorial Day on May 27th. Crazy. And then those are the last two PTO meeting dates for the year. And the next month is when we will have the PTO board elections. We'll talk about that later too. Those are the same reminders we have all the time for our event chairs. Call to the public. Does anybody have anything that's not on the agenda? Excellent. All right. We'll hold on the officers' reports, and we're going to skip in the agenda to talk about the talent show first. Amy and Christy, what can you tell us about the talent show?
It's pretty coming on nicely. Smooth. The kids are so cute. We have like 20 acts.
Wow.
Yeah. And
they are about, the average act is about
2 to 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
We auditioned the 4th grader MCs today. So
looking, we had 10, 8.
Well, we have 2 possible for tomorrow. She is, okay.
So we have 9 for sure auditioning. I think we are going to take between 4 and 5 of them. So we're going to double them up. No, we're not.
Yeah.
But like between the acts.
No, we're not doubling.
No,
we're
not.
They each are going to get 2. They'll each get 2 spots in there. We thought about keeping them all, but after listening to them and knowing some of the kids, like there's a couple that were like, well, that one's going to freak out and not be able to do it. That one's going to mumble. So we're taking it pretty seriously. We want them to know that.
Yeah. We're having 2 rehearsals, one next week on Thursday, and then the next one, the last one will be the Wednesday right before the talent show. We're going to have them here after school in the kindergarten room. We're going to do it so like they kind of get the hang of, okay, Chrissy's room will be the green room, and my room is going to be like the stage, and they know how that's going to work in the order. So can we talk again? You are going to have
a run of show, which is why I was asking about if the teachers were still going to do their.
Which is so funny. I was going to email or text you today about that. We had just talked about it.
Great minds think alike. So so I'll have a run of show that I can send to you. Probably not tonight, but tomorrow.
That's okay. We just really need it by early next week.
With like generic slots in there, and then you guys put in the acts, and then I'll need that back from you to put in the program.
Then the day of the talent show, we're going to ask that everyone who's either 5. We're gonna do a quick run through on stage with microphones, the big, big stage. Be ready to go. So,
And I've talked to Scott Usher, and he is going to actually be our tech guy,
Awesome.
so he knows what he's doing. So that's nice. So we will have 3 mics, 2 wireless and 1 handheld. He asked if we wanted the body mics, and we shot that one down real fast because could you just see our kids up their noses? Those
well,
are the
and he
ones
was
that
like,
go
they are
down.
very expensive, and we're like, no, we're
So yeah, we've got that all taken care of. I'll get him the music
Beautiful.
by next week.
And he knows about the 5 o'clock.
Yep.
Yes, the kids have really, we were so impressed with how seriously they took it. We had no clue how many would come. We had no clue what the acts would look like, and it was absolutely amazing. How talented some of our kids are. Like,
Well, and I
we
know
were
Teresa's
blown away.
not here, but I'm going to say it because Kristen Rapp told me that I guess Teresa was moved to tears by
She was crying.
Yeah.
She
She was
It doesn't take
I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. She's like, it doesn't take much. I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, I think I want to cry. Oh crap, I'm crying.
And we had shows we did. We were like, we don't cry as easily, but we're like, wow.
Yeah. It's going to be so good. Even the kids today, the 4th graders who came to punishment and see, especially the ones that we already know for sure were taking, they took it really seriously.
They had it
memorized it, and they
were
emotions.
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be a lot. One more thing, since you've got a conversation going with Scott, and I know that sometimes it's hard for him to reply to email. I can only imagine what his inbox is like. We are planning to feed him, like we had talked about before, like as we close one section of auctions, of silent auction, we're going to feed him all the people whose bids won
Okay.
so that he can put them on the screen.
Okay.
Can you just give him a heads up that we're planning to do that?
He knows that.
He does?
I talked to him.
Oh, you did talk to him?
you
Yep.
talked to him.
Well, then never mind.
Yeah,
Okay.
he knows that what our general plan is, and I told him that I'll be there early to help with that.
Perfect. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. All right. So, and then I know we're going to kind of jump around a little bit just to accommodate schedules, but do you want to talk about March's Reading Month?
Sure.
Okay.
So there hasn't been too much yet because we just kicked off March, but everybody brought home tickets for their grade level. They're different colors, so you may not have gotten blue. And then on the back, each time the child reads 15 minutes, initial it or check it off, and then put their name on it. And then it comes in back to the classroom and goes into a drawing. And then I have a lot of books in my room to give away. Since I just went there, so. Yep. And teachers have been giving books, and I've been collecting since last year's March's Reading Month. And so tomorrow the teachers will do a drawing, and from 1:30 to 2:30 they can send students down and they'll get to choose a book. And we do quite a few. Like last year I started off with like 2 or 3 per class, and then by the last Friday we were doing like 5, 7, 8, like just getting rid of however many books we had.
Perfect.
Tomorrow's Dress for Success. So we've never done Dress for Success.
I love it. Chase is so mad about it, but I love it.
I haven't even talked to the boys about it.
Some kids that we love to dress up and then don't because they feel uncomfortable. And then we have others that my son's the same way. I never get to wear anything else.
Oh, I'm making him do it.
Track pants and a t-shirt. Yeah.
Kind of like we're going to church.
And I said, I don't think it's that fancy. She's like, well, I was told I had to wear a dress. Just FYI, most of the teachers are wearing jeans. Dress for Success every day. So we're not sure to look like you imagine your best is to wear. And if it's a gift, we're just trying to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Good. And then I think the following week is Crazy Hair Day. There are people who go all out. New colors that wear tall spikes. The girls that the wire braids and all that. And then the last one is Pajama Day. And some teachers allow students to bring in like a stuffed animal that day. And some teachers do candies that day, but that varies. So the whole school is doing Pajama Day. And some of the extra stuff that comes along with that is per teacher. So let's find out. They'll send home, I'm sure, information. And then our author visit is March 20th. They're an author-illustrator couple from Brighton. They present on both processes. So I believe they actually teach their children how to illustrate, and the kids bring paper and pencils, and they draw. The guy has done a lot of voiceovers for different things. He drew the covers for Michigan Killers. So they're supposed to be very entertaining. It's supposed to be very comedic. So hopefully it's pretty dynamic. Their chapter books are choose your own ending, and they have like 5 different styles of ending, like city, western, normal, and so you can read up to that page, and then it tells you which page to go to with the different types of endings. And then they have 2 picture books, and then a couple higher.
There's an order form, wasn't there?
Oh, there is an order form. It went home in the first packet, and it's due March 20th, which is the day they present. So they actually bring all of their books, sign them on the spot, and give them out that day. Everybody should go home at the end of the day
Whatever they
with
ordered.
their books if they ordered autographed. The author we had last year did it the same way, and it was super efficient. And then they said they'll accept orders after. It's easier if most of those orders come in beforehand, so I'm not overly advertising that. But
Yes.
I saw it, but I haven't seen it since it came home.
Yeah, it was attached to this.
it came home with all of the.
It was like
I detached those, those went on the fridge.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, I'll look for the original copy.
Yeah, if you've got it electronically, then you can put it on Facebook.
Yeah, I can scan it. I
And
don't, but I can make it like.
Tammy could also send it out on Wednesday. She could send it out as a last minute thing
Okay.
in her mass email too. If you have it electronic.
This is a big one.
And then, do we need to get you a check, or did we already pay for it? I can't remember, for the offer.
No, you paid so far their deposit.
Okay, so we'll need a check that day
I think
for the
so.
balance?
And I
Okay.
do have that written down somewhere.
All right. Drop me a line so I can make sure that we have the checkbook here,
Okay.
or at least have a signed check ready for you.
I'm a little bit new to running all of the marches.
Okay, cool. Anything else? Okay, thank you. All right, so we'll back up to officers' reports now that we've got Dottie.
I gotta go to the school camp.
Oh,
Ooh.
have fun. Thank you, ladies. All right, so Dottie, you've got the floor.
Yeah, so I lost my agenda, my notes on it in my office.
Okay, you were going to talk about snack pantry.
Oh, so we had tons of leftover
is why
snacks
we take
from,
notes.
from Sioux Celebration. And we are housing them in the office now, and staff knows, and we're coming and accessing those for kids who need snacks. So that was kind of nice. And
Do you need donations still?
I think we'll do a drive. We were talking about maybe doing a drive at the science fair.
Or at least around that time. You know, if we can work it out to do it, because it might be cumbersome to have people bring stuff when they come to science fair.
Yeah.
But sometime, or in the spring, is when we're thinking.
Well, and
stuff.
they have quite a bit right now. It's
Right.
sort of it's this funny thing because most of it, has a long shelf life, but then okay, we're not going to shelve it for the summer,
So you don't want to have too much.
Yeah. So and we haven't. I mean, we used a little bit of it, but we have a lot. So I don't know that we need to do it a drive before the end of this year. Like it would be better to do something in the fall. So I'm kind of just watching how much gets used.
Gotcha.
Is the snack, just to clarify for me, is it for just use in the school, or do you send stuff home with the kids? Sometimes that might need it to go home.
We can send it home, and we will if we suspect we need to do that. For sure we'll do that. But definitely at school, when kids don't have that, or the teachers are just coming and taking a week's worth of stuff and passing out accordingly. So Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. I look at it every day, just visually, see where we're at, trying to get a sense of how much snacks we need to pass out.
Well, and then plus too, how much storage you'll need for it for
I
the years,
know.
for next year or whatever. Because right now it's still just sitting on the cart in there.
Yeah. And then we have a lot of cheese sticks in the fridge.
Yeah.
A lot.
Boatload. Yeah. I think that's.
We had
talk
that
about soups in a minute. But yeah. It's probably one thing. I don't know how. Yeah.
They say they can freeze them, but parents then bring them to preschool frozen.
Oh, geez.
And they become very watery and
Ooh.
And water
it's-
separates.
It's
Yeah.
nasty.
Yeah.
So I would pass those out as soon as you could.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I thought. I'm like, well, we need to go through our cheese sticks like pretty quick here, and then, I just don't know how much we're gonna have to.
I'd say if teachers are pulling from that, tell them to pull from the cheese first.
Yeah.
Like, just pull from the
Let's
cheese.
just have a
and-
cheese party.
Yeah. Reward the kids, whoever
Good
reads
job.
the most, they can be cheese party in the class.
Yeah. Trying to learn what that's gonna look like.
Cheese and pajamas.
Cheese and pajama day.
So more to-
And I think everybody's kind of in the same boat. It's like the other elementary schools that I've talked to about it. They're all in the same boat. It's like a county directive that all schools are doing this, but they're not sure how much they should have, how much it's going to be used because it's all still new. So
Yeah, and it's a little easier when kids are older. I know that sounds silly, it seems, but for instance, I talked to Mrs. Way over at Legacy, and she has one, and it's great. And the kids actually like go shopping for the weekend. Like kids will, because there's this knowledge about, I don't know, they're just older and.
they know how to plan ahead.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah, I mean, in kindergarten, you need a snack today. Do you want some snack for the weekend?
What?
Of course. They'll always take snacks.
Yeah.
Email that says, can you send this home with my child? And it doesn't have to be this big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah, I thought about that. I was kind of hoping to talk to the other elementary principals about that. There's a part of me that feels like it needs to be out there.
Yeah. Or at least at the end of the year, you could do that to clear house.
Yeah.
Like say, hey, we still have stuff in the snack pantry that we'd like to send home.
Because I haven't said anything about it because I've sort of been just,
Word of mouth.
huh? Well, yeah, and just trying to figure out what that need looks like. I'm not sure it's new for me. So, and for the other principals too. I think they're kind of in the same place. And it's hard because for a long time, elementary teachers in particular asked for whole class snack donations. They purchase that stuff themselves. So we don't have a good sense at elementary how big our need is. So that's kind of elementary teachers just kind of make sure their kids have snack.
Right.
So I feel like the elementary principals are struggling the most. I feel like everybody else kind of has and we're all just kind of like.
Right. Well, yeah, because I guess at the high school there's like this huge closet.
Yeah.
That's
Do
filled with
they
stuff.
have snack?
Well, they
To
offer
offer, just
they
if
they
they're
offer
bigger,
yeah
maybe
for
like
kids. I
that.
think for kids to take home mostly. I don't know, but they have.
Please tell me I don't have to send
I can't see that happening with my kids. They eat all the time.
So snack pantry. Yeah, I think we need to send something out that sort of explains what it is and how to access it. On my list for reference, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like we need to talk about that.
All right. So, Mrs. Jernigan, you're going to talk about.
Mrs. Jernigan is here. She's hired. I don't know if your kids have been to music yet. Anybody?
Is
They are
in
so
love with her.
excited.
Yay!
She has such a beautiful voice.
Oh, really? No, the best is Joe. We never really met eye to eye with Mrs. Baines. She's so much nicer than Mrs.
Oh
Baines.
yeah. Oh, that was the first thing they both said. Yes. So much nicer.
Yeah, they've been at odds since kindergarten. So, yeah, he tests his limits. a lot with her.
Yeah, so I've heard good things from the kids, you know, I just kind of pulled them in the hallway, you know. How's music going? You know, had a few kids tell me that have had some struggles in music, that they're going to music.
Okay.
Sounds good. I stopped out to see, she changed the room a little bit, and
Katie said the one was beautiful, and that she turned off the lights and wanted to have a dance party in the dark.
Oh my God.
Seriously. Yeah.
oh yeah.
You know, like a dark.
What's
just a
that?
voice.
Oh, they just don't like music.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with that. Understood.
Yeah, you make them be in church choir.
So yeah, so we're just doing it this year, and some good things. I'm glad you were too, and yeah, music stuff tough sells.
We also talked about Susan.
It was great. I thought it was great. It was really funny because I thought the kids really liked it, and I told them, "George, like, this musical wasn't fun." But I did have a conversation with somebody about the egg because I really didn't get the egg.
Yes, it was me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what?
That was my kid's favorite part. And he's like, the egg had hatched. And like all of Spiker's class was like, yeah, the egg hatched. Like,
And it was a bird
okay.
elephant.
I was like, I
Just saying, it was like.
And two of the characters were a bird and an elephant, right?
It was really nice because we got to go as a whole school. We were one of the few schools that went as a whole community, so that was fun to watch. You know, what we did together.
I was thankful that someone asked the kids to eat at like breakfast because Katie said she was starving by the time they got back. And in fact, they made them do recess first and then lunch. So Katie said, "Can we have a graham cracker?"
that's where all the graham crackers went.
You can have a cheese.
Right, you're cheesing.
Round role models.
Oh, so we have the sign up in the hallway, the round role models, and the social emotional team, and I'll roll that out at a staff meeting in April. And then the idea is just to candidly, kind of like spirit sticks, you know, you just see kids doing nice things and you pass them a spirit stick. I was kind of hoping that teachers would just snap candids of kids doing nice things, and we could print them and just hang them in the hallway. And when it gets full, we'll take the ones that went up first off, but we'll just kind of keep it as a rolling, you know, no timeline, but a way to celebrate some of the good things, because we have a lot of kids that do a lot of really kind things, and we don't always capture that. So I feel like we need to do that. So we're excited about that.
And then the creating jobs with the social.
Oh yeah, and so we continue to work. We've got some ideas about creating some jobs for students. Trying to help students feel empowered and feel like they're sort of they have a stake in the building, a claim in what happens here. And so we were talking a little bit about having some sort of bigger kind of jobs, like maybe some lunch ambassadors and people who do the tours for me, and I don't know. So we're working on it. More to come. But.
Good. And then the last thing was the Heart Association designation.
Yeah, so we got our Ward 6 buildings in Heartland are heart friendly now from the American Heart Association. So we'll put our banner up in the gym, and the high school is working on it. Theirs is way more complex because all of their departments have different requirements, and so you know they're working on it. They're going to take a little longer. It was pretty easy for us to whip that out. So yeah. So yeah, so we did all of our AED training and practiced our drills, and the fire department timed us, and it was good.
So is there an AED in the building?
Yep,
Where is it?
right down by the gym.
Oh.
So we have an AED by the gym, and We we saved our dummy. We passed.
God.
Our dummy survived. So we were good. So we got our approval.
That was all I had in your notes.
Yeah, I can't remember
Okay.
anything else. Thank you, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. So treasurer's report, we haven't received the bank statement yet, so we don't have an updated financial report, but we'll have one next month. Let's see, what else? There was no significant spending in February that hit the budget anyway, so there's just some minimal expenses that we'll have for Superation, but there's really not much else that will change on there. So that's all we've got for that from Trish. Let's see, Superation recap, Jill.
There was a couple hiccups, but overall it went really well. We had a ton of volunteers, which I think
Yes.
was a savior.
It absolutely
for
was.
that.
Yeah.
So we had tons of food, a lot of really creative stuff, and we were able to take what was left and have some snack for 4th grade, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
we kept
then-
some open and homemade stuff,
Yeah.
like the special treats we kept here for all the teachers to come and get for the afternoon. And then we obviously stocked the snack pantry.
Mhm.
And then Mariah, you took some stuff. Where did you take stuff to?
Between the fire department and then the teen center. They said teen center will
I
always
appreciate
take,
that,
and
yeah.
they didn't have to bump into their budget at all for that week of having. So I was like, that's great.
So we were able to put on it. But most of the homemade, cool, themed stuff we were able to keep here. The stuff that made sense to keep here, we were able to keep for the kids to see in the afternoon. So.
Yeah.
And then there's some we already have like a how-to document that we had pulled from Jill's predecessor on this event. We put in more information, then we put in a couple lessons learned that we got from there as well. Like one thing that we hadn't considered was that there's now a breakfast program in the gym in the morning, which we haven't had in the gym before. So when we wanted to sort the food, we couldn't have access to the gym. So we were trying to sort the food on the front in the office on the front desk. It was this deep, and it was so it got a little nuts in the morning, but we worked through it. And again, having all those people to volunteer,
Yeah, we tried to put up what tables we could
that weren't in front of lockers
to get food out.
Yeah. So it got a little hairy for a while, but it all worked out.
It was all been going by 9:30. I mean, despite all of that.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, most of the tables were ready to go before that.
Yeah.
We were ready to go shortly after that, like 9:15 maybe.
Yeah. So it was fast.
Yeah. So it was good. And then when you consider like 4th grade eats later because they have special first thing. 3rd grade, they needed to be up and running so they could eat before special because they go to special at 10. So things like that to consider. But I think it all went really well. And then once the lower grades finished, because they don't get second helpings, and 2nd grade doesn't get a second helping because they have an early lunch, then we moved some food over to 3rd and 4th so they could get more food if they wanted to come through a 2nd and 3rd time. And there were some that came through 3 times. And then from there we were still able to distribute food. So I think it all really worked out well. The kids are dressed up.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
Cute.
I love the ones who do their hair.
I know.
Yeah. So I think it was great. But and then there was also a suggestion. I've heard the suggestion before, but we'll have to talk to you about it. Doing it at lunchtime instead of in the morning. Like making it available to go with
kids
lunch.
eat too much in the
Because
morning.
the kids eat
and
so
then
much in the morning they don't eat their lunch. And it's like, mine came home and said, Mom, I couldn't eat my lunch. I was still so full.
That's all right.
So we would just have
But
to
I
work
didn't
out
know if
different
we could
logistics.
like
We
the
did-
refrigeration stuff and all that.
Yeah, because stuff that gets, because people are, of course, are going to bring stuff in at drop off. Not everybody can come in throughout the morning and all that kind of stuff.
And it might be harder to get the volunteers in the middle of the afternoon as opposed to in the morning.
Right.
That's why I would say maybe even did it in the afternoon for snack, but then it would be hard with volunteers or keeping the food cold or
Yeah.
'cause you get a lot of like.
So there's a lot of
double
logistics
things.
to consider, but it's something we
It
can
is
talk
March.
about.
We could just go put it on.
Yeah, that's true.
Just put it on the sidewalk.
Still
Put it before the polar
Rosemary,
vortex.
rosemary.
And then next year will be like 5
Let's
years
just do it
ago.
out in the pavilion.
Yeah, it'll be like
80 degrees.
Yeah, it was when the boys turned 3, so 7 years ago it was like 80 degrees in the middle of March. So yeah, maybe we can't
Maybe
necessarily
not.
say that.
And I know how to notes of like supplies and stuff.
Oh,
that I
good.
Didn't get enough of what we need. less
So Jill, are you saying that you want to chair this again next year?
Well, I think I'm stuck with it.
Oh, okay. Totally is stuck with it. Yeah. We didn't have a shadow. Oh my gosh, it would be so much simpler.
They talked me down from the lodge. It ended up being really good.
It was stressful. I mean, coming in and volunteering and seeing the kids and everything. Like, I don't think anyone.
Nope. The only complaint I heard about was about Mrs. Wozniak's deviled eggs. That's the only complaint I heard about.
Whoever made the second grade one, I need the recipe because Jacob, that's all he talks about was the green deviled eggs.
It might have been.
I love those on, and of course I can make some sense.
That was the first thing Chase told me about. He gets off the bus. He's like, "Mom, Miss Wozniak made me eat her deviled eggs."
Everybody gets one on their plate. And if you come back through the line again, you're getting another one. All right. Anything else on celebration? All right, ladies' night out recap.
Went good. It was funny. It was fun. I did get.
I've never been there.
I hadn't either, and it was good. I think there was a few moms that couldn't make it, but they said they'd like to do this more often. And I also had a comment that said, "Why don't we do it across all the schools and try to get the moms together so we can start having that link between the different schools as like a whole community."
Adrian used
Say,
to
what did that
organize
do?
last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adrian used to
There was
organize
a
them.
lot of people when we had all the moms.
Yeah.
So I had one mom ask if we were going to do more of them, and I thought, why not? I could put something out there and see if people want. Yeah. I know nobody has go-karting. No? Well, we'll put a poll out. We'll put a poll out and we'll do it. Okay. So are you signing up to do the next one before the end of the year? We're going to do bowling?
What, organize it?
Yeah.
No, you just said you would.
I'm just telling you what would be ideal.
Spikers ahead. She's got 8 stripes. I know that much. I checked it. I keep bringing them in. It is. I saved them all year. The whole family.
Basically, it's still pretty easy for any class to win. The contest goes through the 21st, and with the winning class will earn a special Dr. Seuss treat. And she thanks everyone for their continued support of this program. She just sent in over $400 worth of box tops, and we'll get that check in April.
Is there going to be one more contest for the year?
Yes, I think
Okay.
so. It's either 1 or 2. I'm not sure how she. I can't remember how she did
I bet
it.
there's one more.
Yeah. So, okay, so that's box tops. We already talked about the talent show. So let's talk about classroom baskets. What did Nicole tell me about the baskets?
I can update
Yeah,
if you
go
want
ahead,
to look on that.
Because she sent me an email about
Yeah,
that
no,
too.
that's okay. So I texted her this morning. So
Good.
it sounds like most of the rooms have all their baskets together. Some of the photos look amazing. We're really excited
Vincent's
about
class
them.
has 2 baskets.
2 baskets because they've had so much stuff. Well, they had what, a Go Green theme?
Yeah, it was just a Go Green theme, which was pretty generic.
But they got
So,
they got a lot of MSU stuff, but then they got a lot of like green environmentally kind of or whatever stuff. So they decided to split it. They had enough to do 2 baskets. So but for this kind of mainly goes for the coordinators that if you want to have your basket cellophane wrapped, Heartland Flowers is offering to do that. So we just ask they can be dropped off at Heartland Flowers starting March 13th. And when you drop off the basket, just arrange with Heartland Flowers at when they want you to come pick it up and it'll be ready. And the other point is that the day of auction, the baskets and also the classroom projects, if your classroom opted to do that, need to be dropped off at the old high school between 4 and 5 p.m. So that to the auditorium area so that we can get it all set up for that auction. So that's really about it with the baskets.
Thank you. All right, donations.
So we have been busy at work, but we're doing really good. We have some really good stuff. Raya has a pie chart, which I probably can't even read.
Yeah.
But we
Sorry.
we have some really good stuff to
this year that we didn't have last year. Like we have Cedar Point tickets, which is new. We have some NASCAR tickets. So we have some cool stuff. We've had some super generous donors that actually haven't donated before and have been extremely generous.
Well, and some of them were like they wanted to just either give a lump sum or they've offered to purchase things to create an auction item instead of, you know, because it's a type of business that doesn't have a product or a service to donate. So yeah, so we're establishing. We've always had a gold level for our sponsors, but we're going to establish a couple of levels up from that to be able to give more recognition in the program.
Yep, we'll have 3 donor levels and different recognition. So that's exciting, and I think we're going to be able to do well for the kids. And if anyone last minute has a company or anybody that wants to donate, we can always use something else. So if there's anything that you want to give, just reach out to us and be happy to pick it up or whatever we need to do. So
do you need any help with people picking up anything right now?
I think we're still just waiting, like the ones that haven't been picked up are the ones we're waiting for contact info back. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we, between the 2 of us, Mariah, and a few others that I've made help us.
Voluntold.
Speaking from experience.
Yeah. No, I'm feeling really good.
I'd say my craft room is definitely being overtaken by baskets and stuff.
Every time something new comes in, the boys are like, "What is that? I want that." I'm like, "It's for the auction. Tell your mom to bid on it."
Yes. We did receive a gift card from Barkeepers Casino.
Awesome.
Resort, so we
nice.
did have that to add. That was a new one I picked up today.
Did you already talk to Jen about the Okay.
Knuckles loves us.
I know.
Yeah.
I already.
Or Jenna.
Yeah.
I'm calling you again.
And then we all need to go to Mackles.
Yeah.
So ladies night at Mackles.
Ladies night at Mackles.
Okay.
It's definitely Diamond.
Yeah.
So then I'm gonna have to work with you on getting all that stuff.
Will there be
because
a
I think next week
auction, or
we're just doing
Most of it will be
something.
silent.
will there be very much
So we're gonna have most
Yeah, that's what
silent, and then just like our top items will be.
Which we need to determine
We will.
the number of those
Mhm.
so that we know, because we have to allow. What I'll do is I'll try to get the run of show together,
Yeah.
at least like a first draft,
Mhm.
even with just blank spots for the
Mhm.
acts that are going to be in the talent show. But I'll get a run of show together. We talked about doing 2 intermissions, and that's when we will announce there'll be 2 sections of the silent auction. So we can close one section, announce those winners during the first intermission, close the next section, and then announce those in the second intermission. And then at the end, and maybe interspersed, we'll do the basket raffles, and we'll have Tammy announce all that from the stage, and then we'll have runners who can help communicate that, because that's just it. Not everybody's gonna be sitting in that room when they do all that. So there's some logistics that we still have to work out, but I'll get you guys a run of show, and then we'll figure out how much time we think we have to be able to do a live auction.
And I think
for how
also
many
too,
items.
once we get together and do the bundling next week, we'll be able to really like see what we have once we get everybody's stuff together, and just kind of look at like value and what's gonna be popular.
Right, because like
And
the
then we'll
Mackle
decide.
stuff, it's like you don't want to put it all.
Oh,
in
no,
one.
we'll be
You know what I
separating
mean? It's
that.
like you want to split that and put it with
Exactly.
something else.
I
Yeah.
feel like the ones that involve the teachers
Like the
and like
PTO,
the
right.
yeah, those do really good on the live.
Which is
auction.
exactly what we're
Exactly,
thinking.
like parking spots live, and then like the ride to school and the fire
Yeah.
truck. So those kind of intangible ones that everyone wants will probably more likely be live.
Yeah. How's that teacher list looking? I haven't looked at
Oh,
it.
I just looked at it the other day and I
There's
printed
some
it up,
more,
but I
isn't
forgot
there?
to bring it. Yeah, it's looking pretty good now.
Yeah, it looks pretty healthy.
Do we need to pull that information and put it in the spreadsheet so we have everything in the full
Yeah.
list, or do you already have it?
Well, I don't have it, but because
Okay.
we'll want to give those bundle numbers and all that. and
Right.
Make sure we have
Everything will have to be on that full
listed
list for
Yep.
Trish anyway. So, and
So,
for the
yeah, we'll
program.
link those
Okay.
before bundling.
Okay.
So for the live auctions, have we done a live auction before?
We have. It's just been a few years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When we started,
These
was in
paddles?
kindergarten,
They
and
just
years,
sit
yeah,
there.
yeah. And
Just
we have
sit
to,
there.
and we have
Okay.
some paddles. That's one thing that we need to look at. We have paddles. We just need to see how many we have. Maybe we need to make more.
And I
But
know
we have
Trish-
some in
Trish
the.
said she could help with that
Okay.
aspect of it.
Okay. Good. But no, the year that we started the Round Rocks teacher talent show or the lip sync, that was the first year we didn't have live auction.
Oh, okay.
And I think when Abram was in kindergarten,
I was in-
The boys were in
last
JK.
live auction,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah,
boys
you
were
were-
in JK when we
And it
had
gets crazy
live
to me
auction.
what some
Okay.
of those teachers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously. Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
paid way too much for something because of live auction.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was crazy last year.
Like, damn, our
I have a feeling it'll be interesting to see that auction up live.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It will.
And then-
It will, yeah. Yeah,
I
and
have
it's
to
like
get some, like,
those
security
tense
guards in there.
situations like that, I'm just gonna be like, I'm out.
Right?
Actually,
I'm gonna
I'm
be
not even gonna be on the PTO board next year. So it's like, I don't need to have a parking spot in the front row anymore. I wanted it this year.
I know.
I need-
PTO board
I need
next
these
year.
things. I
Speaking
need
of,
these
right, are we?
Oh, yeah, almost. So pre-registration and early, I'm sorry, are you guys good with donation stuff? Is that good? Okay. Pre-registration and early bird pricing, that information went out either yesterday or sometime this week. All the flyers should have gone home. And we can post it. I can't remember if we posted it. Did I post it yet on Facebook? You did, didn't you?
Wait, what?
No, I think
No,
we
the
should just have to sign up.
pre-registration.
No, I just.
Okay, all right, so we'll get that posted on Facebook. No, oh yeah, you're good, you're good. Oh, are you good for soccer?
I'm not going to second.
Okay. So the early bird pricing is $10 per family, and then, or, thank you ladies, or $3 per person, and then at the door it's $5 a person. So there's no family break or anything. So we encourage everyone to sign up and send in their pre-registration. The due date for that is a week before the auction, so that's next Thursday. Next Thursday.
Do we get tickets or is it just a list? that
We'll have
people
a
check
list.
out? Okay.
Yeah, we'll have a list. Yep. So I think that's it. We already talked about reading month. So yes, PTO board nominations.
Yay. So we are open for nominations for all board positions. We currently have 0 nominations is what I heard. So we're encouraging anyone who's interested to please think about it. If you have questions about what it all entails or anything like that, reach out to any of the board members. We'd be more than happy to talk about what we do. In the vestibule area of the school and the mail slots, there are forms there that talk to sign up if you want to turn in a nomination form, and then also has descriptions of each position that's held. The nomination forms are going to be due the week before the April meeting because we will be voting at the April PTO meeting for the board.
Do you want something about that in a mass email? For
That would be wonderful. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've put the information out there, but something from you would be fabulous.
Yeah, okay.
Just it's, we were just kind of discussing how important it is to just have a really full and active PTO, and really a lot of us work full time and we're still managing to find time to be able to volunteer. and do
Especially when
this, like,
positions are shared.
yes, especially with the co-chairing.
It makes a big
So
difference.
it does.
Do you want to put something together? Do you want me to scan or look at what we put together last year this time?
I've got a letter that Anne had revised from last year
Mhm.
that might work.
Okay.
So let me send that to you and then we can pull from that. Because that has some good data in it, has some numbers.
Yeah,
that you
that would
could
be
use.
nice.
Yeah, okay.
Do you want to know what's on the list from teachers?
Yeah.
That's new?
Yeah.
So Rap and Spiker are doing a matinee movie at MJR and lunch at Red Robin for one winner and 3 friends. Blush is doing an open gym and Subway for a winner and 4 friends. She's going to drop the curtain so they'll have the gym all to themselves. Mrs. Jernigan is doing a karaoke pizza party at lunch for a winner and 3 friends. I know, I told you guys don't like her. Yeah, she dropped right in and she came. I told her to come last night to Cromaine.
Yeah.
And
One of the boys told me that they saw her there. I
yes,
wouldn't have
and she
recognized
came.
her.
She was in the back, and afterwards I said, "So what do you think?" She said, "I'm so doing this next year. What a blast!"
Good, good.
So I think she's a great addition. Mrs. Alvaro's doing her family 4-pack to Music Man. Quinn Hatfield, Rosinski, and Gearhart took over the tea party.
Oh.
Kahursky has Camp Copenhagen.
Thank
Thank you. 4th grade has the MVP to Mackinac. Jess has Healing Towel. 2nd grade has Treehouse Party and Scavenger Hunt.
The boys loved it.
Yeah.
Last year. Loved it.
And I, of course, have Principal Day. And I'm going to do lunch with the Principal Day boys. I'm not going on theirs this year. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. It was so hot.
Well, they had to get rescheduled like 3 times, and then they finally ended up there.
Yeah. And it's like the busiest time of year.
All right. So new business. Trish wanted me to talk about Shopperoo and just talk about signing up. It's on the you can get the Shopperoo app on your phone. You can sign up online. I think it's just shopperoo.com. I'm pretty sure. Keep scanning your receipts. With more participants this year, we're already more than halfway to what we earned for all of last year. So we're cruising along, but we can always use more. That's Shopperoo. Science and Art Fair. Kelly couldn't be here tonight, but I think we talked about last time that we're going to bring in, we've got approval, we're rolling with it. We're going to bring in the Ann Arbor Hands-On Museum, kind of like traveling science get up, where they have 20 stations. They're interactive stations. We are going to be able to man, so far, it looks like Kelly is using her teen group from her church for about 5 stations. We've got 4, probably 5 junior National Honor Society kids that are going to do another 5 stations. And we've asked for another 5 from the high school National Honor Society. So hopefully most of those stations will be manned by the kids. Then we won't have to ask for very many parent volunteers to do all that. So we'll have some stations set up in the gym with all of the usual science fair stuff still required for 4th grade. We're still encouraging teachers to do it in the classroom and for individual students to do projects as well. The art will still be hung on the lockers, just like Mr. Waske always does. And then the rest of the 20 stations will be scattered throughout the school. So we'll have to talk about what rooms we can use, how many rooms we have access to, so we know how many stations we have to put in the gym. So we're still working out all the details, but that's the basic plan, and more information will be coming out on that soon.
So they get kind of like a task sheet kind of thing with each station and where it's at.
We
and the
could,
kids can go
yeah, we
to
could
each
totally do
one
that. And I'm not sure if that comes with the package from
Oh,
Ann Arbor.
okay.
I haven't seen all the details on that, and unfortunately, Kelly's got a parent in the hospital and other stuff going on. So, but we'll get more information on that. But I like that idea of like having, almost like a scavenger hunt, but like a list of the stations and where they're located.
And if they complete them all, they can
Get a
get
cheese
something
ticket.
right. Like it.
That's why I'm here.
And then DPAC, I had a ton of stuff to share from DPAC, and I don't have all my notes together. I realized that DPAC had fallen off of our agenda because there hadn't been a meeting 1 month. But then the next month there was 2, and I never put it back on the agenda, so we're like 3 meetings behind. But Lisa Archie came in 1 month to talk about student nutrition on the whole, and as you can see, there was a lot of information that I felt like I should share. But one thing that's cool is that for school functions, they have in-house catering, which is like a screaming deal. It's great pricing for school functions. They don't do obviously outside stuff, whatever, but it's really, really cool. There's a lot that she balances. One thing that I really like about the way our school district does it is that she is she's self-funding.
Yeah.
So she is her own budget. She's not part of our general fund. She doesn't use our general fund dollars. She manages everything within whatever she brings in from the lunch program and the money we get in grants and payback from the government when we follow their rules. She manages all of that stuff. The only time she needs to tap into to general funds is when there's an equipment issue, which I think she has some of that slated coming up in the next couple of years. But on the whole, it's I think she does a good job with what she has to work
I
with.
always use her catering for the staff Christmas breakfast, staff meeting.
Mhm.
I use it for back to school. All of us use it. It's really good.
Yeah, it is. It is. Anyway, so there's a lot of other stuff there. If anybody has any questions about student nutrition, I feel like I can answer. And then I don't have the other ones with me, so I'll review them and see what other important things I could put on. But Kate from the high school, Kate Gregory came and talked about opportunities at the high school. And it's like my mind was blown with all the stuff that we offer our kids. And it's like, I mean, I came from a school district that didn't have a whole lot of money. And of course, this was a million years ago when I was in high school. But it's like, it's amazing to me, the stuff that we can offer our kids. And I'm not looking forward to, when the boys are in 8th grade and they have to start figuring that stuff out. Oh, yeah,
it was
exactly.
overwhelming.
Yeah,
actually.
times
Yeah.
4. I can't wait. I'm calling up Kate. Like, you need to help me through this, Kate. And I can't remember who the third one was that came in. I think I already talked about Matt Marino. I can't remember who the other one was. But anyway, there's been a lot of good information in DPEC. I just have been forgetting to cover it. And there's a lot of good stuff to pass along. I think that's all I have. Does anybody else have anything? Anything going on? Going twice? Okay.
Adjourn.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. There we go. Started late but ended early. We're good.
Well, it's only fair. The past couple PTO meetings have gone so short.
What's that?
The past 2 have been so short.